Shalom. It's following Yeshua. Welcome again to the rock. Right now you're looking at one of my squash beds. And this squash bed right here, we have, well, let's go in there, but you can see how big it is. This is one of my smaller ones. We love squash and we plan on storing squash for the winter. So right now we have a lot of summer squash going, but we also are about to start some of our 120-day winter squashes. So I think we have we definitely have, oh, there it is right there. We have the yellow summer squash. This right here I think is a black zucchini. I know we have a butternut squash that's binding all over everything in here. We actually have a pink banana squash that took some time to get started, but is doing well. See all those squashes right there, right here. And for those who asked about my method of growing the squash, all I did, especially in this soil, all I did was dig trenches about 4 inches, 4 inches wide, about 4 inches deep, and put organic material and goat manure. So I just went out there, got handfuls of pine needles and mixed it up with straight from my goat pen. I don't know if you can see that. Goat manure. Mixed it up and planted. So these right here just got transferred in. You see a couple right there, one right here. Those just got transferred in and they are doing well. Hallelujah. Here's a lot of wild amaranth. We have so much wild amaranth here. It just grows wild, grows in our gardens. It has thorns, but the goats love it. So we're actually pulling a lot of that, and it's edible for us also. So we'll actually eat this. I know amaranth has quite a bit of iron in it, in its leaves, so we eat a lot of this wild amaranth in our salads or whatever. But that's not even the gist of this video. The gist of this video is we had a tomatillo plant that was growing right there. Well, we did not pick all the tomatillos off last year, and right now we're looking at my Swiss chard, my giant Ford hook chard garden. Well, section of gardening. Do you notice there are little plants growing in here? If you want to know what those little plants are, yes, those are tomatillos. You can see one right there in the picture. So all these little flowers that you see that are growing here in my giant Ford hook Swiss chard is tomatillos. We're going to have an abundance of tomatillos this year. I don't know if you can see that one right. Where is it at? It's kind of camouflaged. But you can see them growing. There's flowers. We're going to have an abundance of tomatillos. Here's a good picture of one right here. We're going to have an abundance of tomatillos. Right here's our broccoli. We've eaten most of our broccoli this year. It was Calabrese broccoli. You can still see some of it heading right there. But we've eaten most of that down. But we have not really even touched our giant Ford hook Swiss chard. Down there we have more oak. We have a ton of okra and some more squash. You can see a squash plant right there. We have a couple squash plants along there. And we have some spinach that came up, self-seeded itself from last year and came up. We have a lot of that going on this year. I'll show you a couple more and then we're going to end this video. All right, shalom again. So right here we have grocery bags of seeds from our gardens. We have 3 different types of greens. We have a purple turnip. We have, I believe that one's in this one. It's a full bag of seed from purple turnips. We have a rare Asian variety green. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a rare Asian variety green. And then we have another Asian variety green right here. They made it through the winter, and then because the temperatures are all odd, they went to seed. So for us, that's a blessing. We're able to harvest seeds. For those who are asking about our lettuce, here's one of our lettuce gardens, the red flamed lettuce. Still doing well. There's more right there, and there's some of our kale, just to give you an idea. We're still eating from this, an abundance of kale. We pull in bags, trash bags of kale in. As you can see, haven't even touched it. Same with this lettuce. We pulled in bags and bags of it. One of the things that we are going into heavy this year is tomatoes. So you can see our seed starts. We have plenty of tomatoes. These are the ones that are not in the soil yet. We already have about 50 in the soil. As you can see, our garden, it is, a lot of it has gone to seed. Now there still is plenty of edible food in this garden. But we're letting it go to, look at the mint. The mint just exploded. That's spearmint, which has exploded. All of our herbs are doing well right now. Our onions are doing, these are bulbed onions. They are doing absolutely well. So as you can see, oh, new thing, Jerusalem artichokes doing well in our garden right now. Potatoes doing real well in our garden. There's some more mint, sweet mint, peppermint. We have rosemary back there, thyme back there, lavender back there. Here's some ginger. Ginger right there, right there. We have like 6 or 7 sprigs in here of ginger that are growing. But you can see these seed pods, they're everywhere. All this is going to seed, and this is just purple top turnips right now. There's more lettuce that we have been eating. There are beets right there. Tons and tons of beets. Haven't touched those yet. Our figs are doing well. There's one of them. One of our, I think we have 8 trees right now of figs. And look at this. All this is going to seed. All that's all mustards going to seed. And as you can see, there's still mustards on it. So we're eating the rest of that. I'm letting it go to seed. I'm gonna harvest the seed, and then we're going to, you see how overgrown it is. But there's plenty of food in here. I mean, look at these. There's plenty of greens on these still that we are still working on. Right here we have our watermelons, lots and lots of peppers, different varieties, and that's not even half of them. Random volunteer tomato plant. We have more potatoes and tires. You can see how the trellis is with the climbing green beans. You can see how they really have been climbing. And there's just so much. We even have this year, we tried, well, let me show you this first. More tomatoes right here. I'm not showing you all the gardens. I'm not showing you everything. But I really wanted to get to a point of this video, which was not this, and this is the corn. I wanted to try and see if we can grow corn, and the corn's doing well. Again, we just dug a trench in the soil, put some organic material in it, some of the goat manure, put the seed down, and it has taken off. But the whole purpose of this video, which I got way off topic, was this. These seeds, these are one of the hardest things for me to grow, to get started. That. I'm not gonna, if you know what that is, you can go ahead and say it. I'm not gonna say it till the end though. That stuff is one of the hardest things for me to get started. You have to scarcify the seed. It takes time to get it going. It can take up to 30 days for the seed to sprout. Has to be in the right temperatures. Well, last year we grew this vegetable here. It's a vining vegetable. It grew everywhere. And then it went to seed. And then the seed fell. And I was worried, oh, I have to, do all this process again to get it started. And guess what? It came up itself. If you don't know what this is Malabar spinach. One of the hardest things for me to grow. We grew it last year fine, but it is a difficult thing for me to grow. Well, this year, it self-seeded itself and grew everywhere. All that's Malabar spinach. And they grow vines probably, I mean, upwards of 10. Last year we had vines that were 13 feet long, just packed with greens. If you haven't heard of Malabar spinach, look at it. Look at the nutrient density in Malabar spinach. But it's just a wonderful thing. I mean, even these two seeds right here, the children dropped these seeds, green beans, while planting these. And they took. Those took. We have one right here. We have a couple right there. They all took. So it's important, you know, when you look at the Bible, and the Bible says, you know, sow your field with your own seed. I mean, obviously, that's talking about marriage, in the context that's talking about, but then even in this context, one of the things that I'm doing is harvesting my own seeds. Oh, look at that cardinal. I'm harvesting my own seeds from my gardens. A lot of what you see here are seeds from my own gardens last year. These watermelons from last year. A lot of what you see in the gardens was all from last year. Peppers and the green beans, the tomatoes. These are from last year. So we are in a definite process of saving seeds, our non-GMO organic seeds that are 1 and 2 years old, which means they're used to this environment. They're used to the soil. You know, that it's been, you know, passed down through into the seed. So make sure, if you can, save your own seed. Do not rely on running to the store to harvest your own seed. Do not do that. If you can, as much as possible, save your own seed. That's what we do. Last right here, we have another corn right there. But look at all this. These are radishes and some other stuff that's weeds. We have some white sickle radishes right there, and then our typical red radishes right here. So save your seed and sow your fields with your own seed. I hope that this video has been a blessing. Oh, and here's some more giant Fort Hook Swiss chard. We got lettuce in here. We have some more green onions right there. You see they're going to seed. We just make sure that we save as much of our own seed as possible. And actually, we're feeding some of this seed to the goats because they'll eat it, digest it, poop it out, and then the seeds will grow because it'll be in their manure. So it'll grow in that, and we'll have greens growing in the goat pen that they can also eat. All right, whoa, look at the size of this onion. The size of this thing. Goodness gracious. All right, I hope you all having a blessed day. Yes, I have not been on this week. I've just taken this time this week to really meditate. Here's some more kale right here. To really meditate and think about everything that's going on in this world, and to make sure that I plan my next moves that I make wisely and according to the will of Yah and the vision that He has put and set inside of me. One last thing, and then we're out of here. I just wanted to show you the Swiss chard that is going to seed. And Swiss chard is a biennial, meaning that it goes to seed every 2 years, the same as beets. They go to seed every 2 years. But you can see the red Swiss chard down there. You see the vines right there? It's going to seed. We make sure we save our seed. There's so much to say on that. Save your seed. All right. Bless you all. Shalom.